Like I said, I'm married. My wife is great. My wife rules. She's patient with me. She's the weirdest person I've ever met. My wife is so bizarre. Like, my wife says things once a day that out loud I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I think my favorite example of this was about 5 years ago. My wife and I, we were in a rental car in Wyoming. Jealous? We were in a Buick Enclave in Wyoming, listening to satellite radio. We were listening to a station called Lithium. Okay, a couple nods. Lithium is a station that only plays 90s alt rock. Okay, yeah, so of course, at some point, a song by the band Bush came on the radio. This guy nods. Yeah. I like seeing Bush fans in crowds because they are kind of smug about it. Like, I can tell just from your demeanor that you're like, just to yourself, you're just thinking like, I bet it was Glycerine. The song he was listening to, I bet it was Glycerine. Yeah, so we're listening to Glycerine. Halfway through the song Glycerine, my wife turns to me and she's ecstatic. She's so excited. And I'm like, what's up? And she goes, Joe, did you know the day I went to my first Bush concert was also the day I tried mayonnaise for the first time? And I was driving, and obviously in my head I was like, how could I possibly know that, you know? But out loud I was like, that's incredible. Tell me everything. My wife proceeds to tell me truly the longest story I've ever heard in my life about when she was 12 years old. She and all her friends, they were huge fans of this band Bush, and they bought tickets to this big Bush concert, Big Bush, and when the day arrived, they were so excited, they all jumped into her friend's mom's minivan, and her friend's mom drove them to the arena for this concert, but they got there hours early. Like, the gates weren't even open yet. So her friend's mom parked the van outside the arena, and as they waited, her friend's mom opened up a Tupperware container on the passenger side seat and started handing all the girls in the van sandwiches, pre-made sandwiches, because the mom knew she needed fuel. They needed fuel for this big Bush concert. So my wife takes the sandwich, and we should be clear, at this point in time, she is not my wife, okay? She's just a 12-year-old Bush fanatic in Connecticut. She takes the sandwich, and she bites down on the sandwich, and immediately she realizes that this sandwich in particular is much more moist than any other sandwich she's ever eaten up until that point in her life. But she doesn't want to be rude, so she swallows this weird, wet sandwich. And as she swallows, she has to admit that whatever this wetness is has a sort of pleasant, unctuous taste. She recognizes that. She's finished swallowing. She kind of panics. She looks at her friend's mom and she screams, "What's the wetness? What's the wetness in the sandwich?" And her friend's mom obviously was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What's the wetness?" And the friend's mom was like, "That's mayonnaise. Have you never had mayonnaise?" And my wife was like, "No! What? That's mayonnaise? Oh no, am I someone who likes mayonnaise? I think I like mayonnaise." So yeah, that's the short version of her story. So her story ends, and I don't know how to respond, and that's a problem, right? I can tell she's waiting for me to say something in response, but I'm not doing it right. So there's just this tension building in the Buick Enclave we're in. And after like 20 seconds or so, she gets annoyed, and she snaps at me, and she goes, hello, Joe? What was the day you first tried mayonnaise? Expecting me to have like an equally powerful story. You know that touchstone moment in all our lives where we vividly remember eating mayonnaise for the first time?